welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Cat Meffen. I'm your yoga teacher for today. For those of you that have done many of my flows before, welcome back.
Never.
So today's yoga tutorial is going to be something that's slightly more intermediate level. So my recommendation would be, if you are not familiar with Vinyasa flow, you're not familiar with sun salutations, then I would pause this one now and just have a look through my other videos, of which there are many, and you will find something that's maybe a little bit more suited to you. For those of you that are kind of looking to take your Vinyasa to the next level, then welcome. I will of course give modifications and give variations, so hopefully it will open it up to a wider group of levels, but I just don't want anybody that's kind of newer to the practice, you know, injuring themselves or just kind of not enjoying it because it's not suited to them. So we are going to get started. You're going to come around to child's pose. So taking the knees wide. You're going to take the knees to maybe about as wide as the mat if you can. You're going to stretch those hands forwards and see if you can let the forehead melt down onto the mat. Now there's going to be a lot to do with mobility of the hips, of the shoulders, flexibility of the quads. So just seeing how that feels. Seeing if you're able to melt into the mat. Taking a moment to ground down fully into the practice. Just being very aware of where your body is right now on your mat. Becoming very present. Notice how the breath feels within the body, maybe noticing any shapes and shadows flickering behind the eyes with the eyes closed. And coming to set an intention for your practice today. Something that you'll take with you far away from the mat, something that maybe you can take with you into your day. Walking those hands over to the right side, finding a little bit of opening through the left side body. Starting to deepen the breath a little bit more as well. Those of you familiar with your Ujjayi breath, tapping into that breath now. And then we'll walk the hands back through center, hands come over to the left. We're opening up through the right side body. So maybe if this is your first little bit of movement of the day, really starting to feel the body crack open, space being created. With every exhale, we're able just to open ourselves a little bit more. Hands come back through center. Start to take those hands even further away on the mat. You can bring the knees to about hip width apart, wiggle them back slightly as we come down for extended poppy. So bottom is high up in the sky. So maybe coming up onto the fingertips if you are living in slightly a more open body, or if you know you have slightly more open shoulders. Let's try and soften those ribs slightly, just so that I know it probably feels quite nice to be like, oh, really pushing open here, but we can still get that opening through the shoulders just by drawing in the lower belly and softening through the ribs slightly. Okay, from here, you're going to take your left hand and slide the left hand underneath the right. Coming round for a little spinal twist, you can take that right arm up into the sky. So opening here. Either you're going to stay with your arm up in the air, which you might find a little bit challenging, or you can take that right arm over the top of you, and you're going to see if you can wiggle the right leg away, out the back. Ooh. So right, I'm lucky because I've got a wall next to me. So you've got this right arm either up or on the floor, and the right leg is out long in front, or sorry, out towards the back. And then you're going to see if you can bring that right leg around to the side. remembering to breathe. And then slowly release, bring it all the way back to the mat. It's always good to have a little bit of fun. Unravel the body. Reset, and then we'll take the right arm all the way through. Let's find that twist first. Take the left arm all the way up. So opening through the chest, through the spine, and then from here, you're gonna see if keeping the left arm up, you can shimmy that left leg away. Maybe you find that you need to take the left hand down to the mat to help with the stabilizing. And then when you're ready, you're gonna bring that left leg around to the side. I won't be able to because I have a wall, but in the same way that we did on the right side, do the same on the left. One more breath, and then slowly release. Unravel, give those shoulders one last little shake out, maybe just wiggle hips side to side. And then slowly start to peel the body up. Let's quickly work through some cow and cat. Inhale as you lift the chest. Exhale as you round the spine. Inhale, lift, shine the heart forwards, work from the pelvis. Exhaling, round the spine. Coming back to neutral, tuck under the toes, spread through the fingers, take that bottom high up to the sky. And let's take a few moments in our first downward facing dog, so maybe a little pedal out through the feet. Maybe that feels good, maybe a shake, a nod of the head, whatever it is, whatever you are in need of today. And then on an inhale, let's all come up to the ball of the feet. Exhale, start to draw those heels down. You can bend the knees if you need to. Inhale up to the toes. Exhale towards the mat. Inhale up to the toes. Keep that inhale going as you round through the spine. Come over to a plank. Exhale, round it all the way back. Downward facing dog. Inhale, coming up to the toes, round through the spine, bone by bone, working your way round to plank. Exhale, use the core as you work your way back to a downward facing dog. One more time, take a nice big inhale, rounding all the way forwards to high plank. Exhale as you work your way back. Beautiful. Start to slowly walk those feet into the hands. Feet about hip width apart here. Take a nice big bend in the knees just to begin with. Let the head hang heavy. Interlace hands behind the head. Just take this nice rounding sensation. Folding over. And then slowly, slowly, slowly come to standing. Head and neck lifting last. Okay, we're going to work through some Surya Namaskar A's and B's. Hands down by the side, just lift through the chest, pick up through the toes and just see if you can spread each toe down one by one, really grounding down into your mat. Lifting up through the legs, lifting through lower belly, switching on Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, lift through the chest. Nice big inhale, sweep the arms. Exhale, forward fold, option of bending the knees. Inhale, find lift, find length, option hands to shins. Exhale, place the hands, step or jump back, either lowering down to the knees, or you can come straight down through Chaturanga. Inhaling, upward facing dog or a cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. So really tapping into that Ujjayi breathing. If you're not familiar with that breath technique, just deep inhales and exhales through the nose will be perfect. I'm really staying strong in the shoulders, and then see if you can rotate the armpits towards one another to create that space for the neck. On an inhale, either step or jump, feet to the hands, lift the chest, create space. Exhale, fold down over both legs. Inhale, sweep the arms high up to the sky. Exhale, hands through heart center. Inhale, take it up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift the chest, create space. Exhale, place the hands, step or jump back, either lowering down through the knees, modifying like I am, or coming down through chaturanga. Inhaling, upward facing dog or a cobra. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Awesome. From here, let's just shift the heels around to the right side. So the ball of the foot stays where it is. We've just shifted the heels. Stay strong in the shoulders. See if you can feel a little bit more of an opening through the left side body. And then shift those heels all the way over to the left. Feeling a bit more of an opening through the right side body. Coming back to center. On your inhale, step or jump feet to the hands, lift the chest, create space. Exhale, folding down over both legs. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up to the sky. Exhale, hands through heart center. Inhale, take it up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, find lift, find length. Exhale, place the hands, step or jump back to high plank, coming down for some chaturanga push-ups. So either staying up here and coming down halfway, pushing back up, or you're going to drop down to the knees, keeping those elbows tucked in, coming down. Exhale up, inhale down, exhaling up. 2 more, inhale lower, exhale push up. Last one, lowering. So trying not to go too far down. You want to stay on that 90-degree angle. And then on our last one, lowering the whole way down to the mat. Inhale for high cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Awesome. Inhale, sweep that right leg high. Take a nice exhale. On an inhale, bringing that right knee forwards to the right elbow as you bring the shoulders over to plank. Breathing here. Awesome, hold it. On your next exhale, take it all the way back. And release. Inhale, sweep that left leg high. Holding here. When you're ready, inhale, bringing left knee to left elbow. Really, really pushing high. And then exhale, bring it all the way back. Release that foot down. On your next inhale, step or jump, feet to the hands. Lift the chest, create space. Exhale, folding down over both legs. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up. Exhale, hands through heart center. Okay, so let's hinge at the hips. Find Utkatasana for our Surya Namaskar B. Hinge hips, sweep the arms. Let's hold here for an extra breath. Really take that bottom all the way down. Try and soften the ribs slightly. So rather than traditionally where we look up to the hands, which is fine, I'm just going to ask you to keep the arms by the ears and really work those arms up, working these muscles down the side of the body. Take a nice big inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, find length. Exhale, place the hands, step or jump back, lowering down through chaturanga or down to the knees. Inhaling, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot softly and silently steps through to the hands. Come to find warrior one. Now, if your warrior one isn't feeling very good, you're just going to pop that back heel up. You're able to work the hip alignment towards the front, which is awesome, and we're not putting any pressure on the knee. Come a little bit deeper. One more breath, hold here. Exhale, frame the foot, step it all the way back, lowering down to the knees or coming down through chaturanga. Inhaling, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, step left side, come forward to find your warrior one. So again, finding the variation that works for your alignment, for your body. And then we'll take an extra breath. On your exhale, frame the foot, step it all the way back, working down through your chaturanga or down to the knees. Inhaling, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Taking a little breather here, knowing that child's pose is always an option. Really staying strong in those shoulders. On your next inhale, step or jump feet to the hands, lift the chest, create space. Exhale, fold down over both legs. Inhale, hinge at the hips, bottom comes down, reach up, Utkatasana. Exhale, take it all the way back down. Inhale, find length. Exhale, place the hands, step or jump back, lowering down to the knees or down through chaturanga. Inhaling, upward facing dog or a cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right side, warrior one. Exhale, float the hands straight back down, bring it all the way back through your vinyasa. Inhaling, upward facing dog or cobra. Meet back in a downward facing dog. Inhale, step left side forward. I know we're working fast, finding the fluidity. Sweep the arms up on the exhale, stepping all the way back, lowering down either through chaturanga or down to the knees. Inhaling, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Reconnect with the breath. So in case you lost that connection, just taking a moment to reconnect. On an inhale, bringing the body forward to a high plank. And then let's bring that right knee to the right nose, really rounding through the upper spine. Holding here. Really use the breath, okay? This is hard. Need to breathe. Take that right leg back, find the left. Taking it all the way back, wave the body back, downward facing dog. On your next inhale, step or jump, feet to the hands, lift the chest, create space. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, hinge hips, bend knees, Utkatasana. Exhale, take it all the way back down. Last Surya Namaskar B. Inhale, lift the chest, create space. Exhale, place the hands, step or jump back, lowering down through chaturanga or down to the knees. Inhaling, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, smoothly transition, warrior one. Exhale, frame the foot, step it all the way back. Work your way down towards the mat. Inhaling, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, nice smooth transition, left side, warrior one. Exhale, frame the foot, take it all the way back, work down through your chaturanga or down to the knees. Inhaling, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful, reconnect. If you're feeling a bit fierce and a little bit feisty today, try a little turbo dog. So turbo dog, we're going to bend the elbows, but we want to wrap those elbows round towards each other. So as if you were lowering down to dolphin, but then you don't quite get there. So holding that turbo dog, or wherever you are, knowing your limits as well. If you want to just be kind to your body today, know when to say no. On your next inhale, step or jump, feet to the hands, lift the chest, create space. Exhale, fold down over both legs. Inhale, hinge hips, bend knees, sweep those arms up and hold here. Okay, so holding, breathing. Bring hands to heart center. Keep the breath going. From here, you're going to pick up the left foot. Keep those knees locked together. So we're still in that hinged, bent position. Chest is forwards. And then take that leg out, take a big step back. So we're back to a high lunge. You can start to lift the chest. Option of bringing the ball of the foot to the ball of the front foot. That didn't make any sense. The right toes, you know what I mean. Hands to heart center, working with the wobbles. Holding here. Taking the arms up by the head, only if it feels good to. See if you can start to hinge the body forwards. Adding a little bit more pressure on these glutes, having to work a little bit harder. Try not to let the belly flop onto the leg. As you exhale, place the hands down, drop the back knee. Slowly release that back foot and come down for a low lunge. You can keep the hands down by the side of you if that feels good, or you can place the hands on top of the knee. So just taking a moment wherever you are. If you're slightly concerned about your back knee not feeling so good, really push down through the top of the foot of the other leg. Holding here. When you're ready, releasing the hands down, tuck under the back foot. Either you can keep that back knee down if you're not quite feeling it just yet, and you can open the right arm out to a twist, or you're going to push that back knee off and open out here. Staying with the breath. From here, finding myself a bit of space, we're going to pivot onto the outside edge of the left foot. Pick up the right foot, take it all the way over, come to find wild thing. Really lift the hips and the heart all the way up to the sky. And then as you pick up that right foot, you're going to place it down back to where it was. Both feet facing the side, and then drop this left hip down. Oh yeah. So really feeling that stretch now down the outside of the right leg, so the IT band, the glutes, all the way through the left side body. Take some nice deep breaths. Swing that right arm all the way over, pivot the right foot around. You're in your lunge, take the arms high. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Let's take a twist here, so left elbow comes over the right knee. See if you can find the twist. Pushing the hands to heart center, right elbow going straight up to the sky. If you've got a bind here, feel free to take the right arm over, left arm underneath, find your bind. If not, just staying with the hands together. When you're ready, you can gaze down and see, keeping the twist, if you can push off that back foot and come back to that squat position. Beautiful. Bring those hands all the way back to center. Stay with the bottom down if you can. I know it's a lot on the legs, a lot on the glutes. From here, when you're ready, you're going to pick up that right foot. Holding here, stay with the breath. Take that right foot, all the way out long. Inhale as you start to lift the chest all the way up. See if you can bring the front foot onto the toes. I clearly have no balance today. Hopefully you are finding a little bit for yourself. On an inhale, take the arms all the way up. If you would like to, you do not have to. See if you can bring the body forwards. Lift through the belly. We don't want to see this kind of flopping onto the left thigh. When you're ready, slowly release both hands down. Drop that right knee down. Come to find a low lunge. So taking interlaced hands on top of the knee or hands down by the side of you. And just breathing into that stretch. Don't mind me while I do my hair while you do that. So just using the breath. Stay with the breath while you're there in that stretch. Chest nice and lifted. Remember what we said about the back foot pushing down into the mat to protect the right knee. When you're ready, taking the right hand down by the outside of the left foot. Either you're going to stay down on the right knee and you're going to find your twist, or you're going to push up on that leg, on that foot, take the left arm all the way up. See if you can take the gaze up there with it. Holding here. When you're ready, you're going to pivot onto the outside edge of that right foot as you lift the left leg all the way up and over. Heart lifts up to the sky. Hips lift up to the sky for wild thing. Really feel the expression of this pose. On an inhale, start to lift that left foot all the way again. Place it back over as you then drop the right hip down towards the mat. The left arm can go out long. You can gaze towards those left fingertips. So feeling the stretch all the way through this top leg, down the glutes, the IT band, and then also a nice big stretch through the right side body. On an inhale, start to move that left hand all the way over. Just move that foot if you need to come back to your high lunge as you take the arms high. Take a nice exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, draw the chest really tall. Exhale as you come to find the twist. So pressing hands together at heart center, really opening up. If you have the bind, by all means take it. Just really concentrating on staying with the breath. On an exhale, or actually, sorry, from an inhale, you're going to look down, you're going to push off that back foot as you slowly bring those legs together, staying down in that squat, stay in the twist, slowly release to center, and then let everything hang down. Take the feet to hip width apart, just take a little wiggle through the legs, a little soften through the neck. Maybe a little sway side to side. On an inhale, just lift the chest. Exhale, take the two peace fingers around the big toes. Inhale again as you lift. Exhale, take the elbows out to the side as you come towards a forward fold. Option always of bending the knees here. Shift the weight forwards into the ball of the feet. Stay with the breath. Maybe on your next inhale, just ease out slightly. And then as you exhale, elongate, lengthen through the spine. If you're able to find a little bit more length there, a little bit more depth. On an inhale, release, come to the fingertips. Exhale, you're going to step your left foot back. Take the back foot, the back knee down. And we're going to come back to that low lunge. So untuck the toes. So working towards that lunge. If you find in your lunge that your knee is going way far over your ankle, as if it looked like this, and you're having to come off that back foot, which I do see a lot, then what you need to do is just shift that right foot forwards. Okay, so we're going to open up through the quads here. So bringing in that back knee. See if you can take the right hand back. Start to draw in, if it feels good too, start to draw in that left foot. If you can take both hands to that knee, that foot, awesome. No worries if you can't. Stay with the breath. Ease off slightly, let go of that foot. Softly move back, shift the hips back and come to a half split. If you can, come to a forward fold here. As you inhale, start to lift the chest. Exhale, find the length. If you're nowhere near here, that's absolutely fine. If you've got blocks that you can put your hands on, even better. On an inhale, coming forwards again to that low lunge. So this time, either going for the same or seeing if you can maybe walk the fingertips back, open through the chest and drop the head back. See if you can get that foot anywhere near the head. It does not need to be touching. Remember to keep breathing. So just giving it a go. If that doesn't feel nice for you, then just ease back off of it and work through the stretch through the quads again. Slowly, everybody releasing where they are. Frame that right foot. Pick up the left knee. We're going to come to Vinyasa, side plank. So coming over to the left, drop the left foot down. Right foot stacks on top, and we take the right hand up. If you need to modify this, you can take that left knee down. It's a really, really nice, simple way to modify. Or if you're kind of in that in-between stage where this is not enough, but this is too much, you could take that right foot over the top. So wherever you are. And slowly come back to high plank. Holding here. On an exhale, wave the bottom all the way back, downward facing dog. On an inhale, step that left foot forwards. Drop the right knee down, coming back to that low lunge. So just taking a moment, really working into the breath. And then when it feels good to you, you can see if you can bring that right foot up towards the body. Take the left hand back. Add a gentle bit of pressure, just gentle. Figure out where you're at first. If it feels good to you, you can always take both hands back if you want to work on the balance. We're not going for the head back just yet. For any of you eager beavers, staying here. Slowly releasing that right leg down. As you do so, shifting that left hip back towards you, back towards the body. So the hip draws in, the left foot is flexed. If you can come down to the hands, awesome. If not, you might just need to stay high. Seeing if you can find a little bit of length in the spine, stretching through the hamstrings. On an inhale, start to work your way forwards again to the lunge. This time, bringing that back knee up. If it feels good, you're going to take your head back. If not, you're just going to stay here and work on the quads like we did before. So just doing whichever one feels right for you, staying with the breath. When you are done, slowly peeling your way out of it, frame the foot, let that right foot come down to the mat, pick up the right leg. We're going to pivot onto the right side of the right foot, left leg stacks on top, Vinyasa. Left arm is lifted. Remember the modifications. You can modify if this is too intense. Staying with the breath. Taking that arm all the way down, coming to find your plank position. From here, seeing if you can come down to the forearms. You might have to wiggle those feet back or the bottom up. So we're now in our dolphin. So down on the forearms, whichever graceful way you chose to get here. You really want to push the head away from the mat. Okay, so a lot of the time what happens here in dolphins, this is super intense, so we just collapse forward. Can you see the difference here to here? I'm really pushing out. Now obviously shoulder flexibility is gonna play a part, but just doing what you can to really push the head away from the mat. You can walk the feet in a little bit more if you can. So it's one of those super, super intense postures. Really let the breath guide you. So every time you think, oh my gosh, it's too much, take a nice big inhale. Know that child's pose is always an option. When you're ready, we're going to push back, find ourselves in a nice downward facing dog. Reconnect with the breath in case you lost it there for a moment. You're going to walk the hands back towards the feet. Slowly start to peel the body up. Come to standing. You're going to open out left foot, Prasarita Padasana. So you want to have the outside edges of the feet aligned to the outside edges of the mat. If it feels nice, you can pigeon toe those feet in a little bit. It's going to depend on the alignment of your body. Take the hands to the hips. Inhale, find length. Exhale, hinge at the hips. You can bend the knees if you need to. Exhale, as you come forward, place those hands down. See if you can get the heel of the hand in line with the heel of the foot. If you have a strong tripod headstand in your practice, by all means, take that. Please just make sure when you're going down for tripod headstand, you have this equal triangle shape between your head and your hands. Okay, so no uber wide hands, no head in line with hands. You want to have this nice equal shape if that's what you're going for. Just be careful. If you're new to the tripod headstands, then I recommend you do not try it now. You're just going to stay with me in this forward fold. Those of you in your headstand, slowly making your way down. If you want to transition through crow pose, by all means do. The rest of us, we're going to inhale, come up to the fingertips. You're going to exhale as you bend the right knee. You might want to pivot the right toes out to the side. Drop the bottom down, Skandasana. Lift through the chest, hands to heart center. Really, really feel that lift. And then we're going to go all the way over to the other side. You're going to see if you can not use your hands. If you need to, that's cool. You're going to have to press left foot down, slowly coming all the way down with control. If you've got dodgy knees like me, you'll be hearing them crunching as you're on your way over. So just please be careful. Lift through the chest again. Hands to heart center. And then slowly placing those hands down in the middle. You're going to come all the way. You're going to lift the bottom up. Now we are going to be bringing ourselves down to seated. Either you can take yourself straight down there now, or you're going to take these hands back, sort of through the legs, bend the elbows. You're going to heel toe the feet in to the point that you feel like when you sit your bottom down, your bottom is going to be sitting on your elbows. And then you're going to see if when you rock back, you can take those feet off the mat. I'm sadly against a wall, bear with me. And see if you can just balance those feet off the mat. Maybe you can hook them in front of the chest. Lift the chest a little bit. Maybe you want to come out for Tisibhasana, so you'll open the legs and then drop the bottom. And then you'll slowly, when you're ready, lower down to the mat in a straddle position, so legs are wide. Okay, from here, placing the left hand down to the side of you, you're going to sweep the right arm up and over. So really finding space down the right side of the body. Use the breath, open through the body. Keep the feet and the legs switched on, so you want to flex through the feet here. On an inhale, sweep that right arm all the way up, over, let it help guide you over to the other side. Left arm's going to come over to the right leg. Your foot does not need to be in your hand like this. Just finding your own limit and then breathe into it. Creating space through the left side body. On an inhale, coming all the way up, center, and then this time you're going to walk those hands forwards. Now either you're going to come down for a stretch, placing those hands down wherever you get to. If you know that you've got nice juicy open hips and you tend to pancake down and you just relax, no relaxing today, you're going to take the hands behind the head. You're going to flex the feet. You're going to externally rotate through the femur, through the thighs. So you're really going to have to stay switched on as you lower down. Hold here. When you're ready, coming up, you're going to do 3 of those where everyone else does their stretching. If you want to take it to the next level, you're going to take the arms up in front of you. And do it that way. It's a really, really great way to strengthen. So just trying not to just go with the easy option if you know that you're just going to splat down onto your mat. The rest of us just breathing into the stretch. On an inhale, coming all the way up. You're going to swing that right leg around so we're facing the front of the mat again. Coming into Paschimottanasana. So forward fold again, popping yourself up on a block if you need it. Take a nice big inhale, legs are activated, feet are flexed, hinging at the hips, finding length here. Keeping a nice long line all the way through the spine, up through the crown of the head and the neck. One more breath here. As you inhale, come to lift everything up, including those feet. So coming into Navasana, boat pose. Find a variation. Maybe you need to hold behind the thighs, that's absolutely fine. Or you can take the arms out long. If you want to have the legs straight, by all means do. But you don't know how long we're going to hold it here for. So just breathing here. Let's take some toe taps. So right foot first. So for 1, left 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, hold. Cross one foot over the other, swing your foot cell forward, come down through your vinyasa, either down through chaturanga or down to the knees, inhaling upward facing dog or a cobra, exhale downward facing dog. When you're ready, either jumping or walking your way through to a seated position. Taking the legs out long in front of you. You're going to come to Marichyasana C. So you're going to bend in the right leg. Right hand's going to go behind you. Stay really nice and strong in this front leg. So the tendency with twist is because we're looking the other way, we forget about this leg and it just goes all floppy and pointless. We really want to keep this switched on. So inhale, draw really tall through the torso as you exhale, either hugging this right leg or taking the elbow over the top and finding the twist that way. Remember the left foot. Use again the breath to deepen the stretch. You want to keep these fingertips turned on as well. We don't want to just have floppy hands here. There is energy running the whole way through your body, so we need to feel it. On an inhale, coming through center. You can switch the legs, drawing the left leg in this time. Take left hand behind you. So setting up, really keeping this right foot switched on. Inhale, draw tall through the torso. Exhale, taking the twist. Again, thinking about the energy through the body. Every time you inhale, find a little bit more length. Every time you exhale, see if you can find a little bit more depth in the twist. And slowly releasing all the way to the front. Find your Navasana, find your boat pose. Maybe this time taking it to the next level. So if you had your knees bent before but you found it quite comfortable, see if you can take the legs straight. If you find your spine does this, then just go back to the bent knees. When you're ready, crossing either right over left or left over right, shooting those feet back, working down through chaturanga or down to the knees. Inhaling, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Exhale, just releasing the knees all the way down to the mat. Now, we're going to work on a few little headstand drills. If you have a strong headstand, pincher, handstand in your practice, then the option is yours as what you'd like to take now. Obviously, I'm not there. I'm only on a computer screen, so please just make sure that you are really, really careful. And I would recommend for this practice not using a wall and just working on the strength drills. So if that means not getting your legs up in the air today, that's fine because you were just working on the strength. The rest of us, we're going to just practice our headstands. Now that does not mean going up into headstand necessarily. So you're going to take hold of opposite elbows. Okay, this is the distance of your shoulders. You're going to pop those elbows down on the mat, and the elbows are going to work as this sort of like lever here, this hinge. So the elbows stay grounded where they are. Interlace the hands and pop those hands down on the mat. Now, your hairline at the front of your head is going to just pop down to the mat in front of the hands, so then part of the head is rested on those hands. As I tuck under my feet and I lift my bottom up, I feel more pressure into my head and I can push out more through my shoulders. Now I'm going to walk my feet in. This here, right here, might be enough for you today. that is absolutely fine. Stay here for a few breaths, see how it feels, and then come down to child's pose and take a rest. If you want to go a little bit further, you're going to just tuck one knee in, release it down, tuck the other knee in, release it down. Maybe do that a few times, come to your child's pose. If you want to go the next step further, you're going to see if you can take a leg straight up, release it down, do the other leg, do that a few times, come to child's pose. So these are all things that I recommend that rather than you kind of throw your legs up and it be uncontrolled, by just focusing on being upside down but without our feet off the ground, we're able to work on that pushing out through the shoulders, we're able to work on drawing the knee into the core, all of that sort of stuff. So just finding the variation that works for you, taking a few breaths, or taking a few, right leg then left leg, and then coming down for a child's pose. If you are deeper into your headstand practice and you can headstand, you are going to focus today on slowly lowering down with piked legs. So keeping it really steady, really working into the core. If you can, you're going to see if you can tap the floor and then lift back up again. And then everybody's going to come down to a child's pose. So I'll just give you a couple more moments to do that, and then we'll all come down to a narrow leg child's pose. If you're ready for your child's pose now, by all means, come down and meet me here. So just loosening out any tension in the neck, opening through the spine here in child's pose. Slowly starting to peel the body all the way up. Head and neck come last, and then you're going to swing those legs around, draw them forwards, and come to lay down on your mat. So just taking the body all the way down, draw the knees into the chest, just take a little rock side to side. Bringing the arms out for cactus, or if you've got space, bring them out into a T shape. And then drop the knees over to the right side, head goes over to the left. A final little spinal twist here. You can close off the eyes. If you want to deepen this stretch, you can take the right foot on top of the left knee. On an inhale, coming all the way through center, and then going over to the left side. Head goes over to the right. And if you want to deepen it, you can take that left foot on top of the right knee. On an inhale, coming back through center, and then slowly bringing yourself down to Shavasana. If you want to take a little happy baby somewhere in between, by all means do. Or you're going to take those feet all the way down to the mat, let the feet drop out to the side. If you know you have a slightly icky lower spine and you want to just ease that off a bit, you're going to bend your knees up like I've got here, feet on the outside edges of the mat, knees drop together, And then the same as everybody else, with palms facing upwards, create a little bit of space for the shoulders, closing off the eyes. Letting the breath really soften.
Let's see who this Cat Meffen muffin is. What do you want to do? Cat, your class is a bit sloppy. I could see the structure in it, but the breathing and the count of the breathing is a little off. And it changes sometimes even within a chaturanga, especially when like it was really awkward going to warrior one, and it was like really fast and really slow sometimes when we were doing some of the some of the sun salutations in the beginning. I like the stretching. Stretching was great. Just felt a little disjointed, everything. Not my favorite class. I was also looking to sweat a little bit more. So maybe keeping up the fast pace nature would be better for an extended period of time. Thanks.